Okay, so today I'm actually going to be narrating the first little bit of our video. And we did like a British style tea party, but it ended up being a fail. Everything was cold. So, I'm going to start the video. So I'm showing you an egg. Man, that was kind of creepy. Breaking the egg. I actually had to fish out the second egg yolk. So here I'm showing you the vanilla, modeling it like the weird person that I am. That seems to be 1/4 a teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're whisking the egg whites with the vanilla. That's nice. Now we're adding in egg yolks to the whisked egg whites. So we're finally putting the eggs together. We're adding baking soda. Originally I was going to make like a puff thing, but then it turned out to be crepes. We added it was upside down, but I think that was 1/4 of a tablespoon. So I did that, and then I started gingerly mixing it together. I realized that you can actually fold without making it look like you're just stabbing it. Because it looked like I was like stabbing it and just moving it around to stab it again. So here I'm adding 1/4 of a tablespoon of sugar. I actually used monk fruit sweetener. And then I was folding that together before plopping it onto little tiny circles. And then I'm putting it into the air fryer. Yay me. So yeah, it wasn't as puffed as I'd like, so I turned it into crepes. Here's what we ended up with. They actually look a lot different than what you might expect, but this is about the consistency you would expect normally when cooking with something like this, because it's egg, and egg flattens and hardens over time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these into a crepe kind of thing. I'm going to use, where is it? 1/4 of a teaspoon of Hershey's cocoa powder. Mixed with just enough molasses to actually make it do something, which actually might take a minute. I'm just gonna pour that while I talk. So what I did was I just mixed baking powder and vanilla and egg and a little bit of sugar, and it created this. The texture is kind of like that of a pastry. Definitely not a British style pastry though, so hang on. Taste-wise, it's pretty good, but it can use something, so we're adding in molasses. And I'm actually going to do a lot more than you would think, because all except for one, which Mama's going to be eating, and Mama doesn't like molasses. I'm just going to put the molasses right here and then fold it in half, maybe roll it like this. Have this, and I'm going to mix it with a knife because that is one of the only things that will keep it together. It looks quite like honey butter or a substitute nut butter at this point. And it's just the right consistency and just the right flavor. So what I'm going to do is just on each one, I'm going to kind of spread this out just a little bit. And except for the sugar and the cocoa and the molasses, This is pretty much a ketovore kind of thing. Actually, it is a little bit of a ketovore thing. So I'm just going to roll it up. It kind of looks like a crepe. So I'm going to leave 1 or 2 for Mama, depending on how much this actually covers. You know those waffles that you make? Mama knows what I mean. When you're on the carnivore diet.
With the eggs and the cheese.
Yeah, it's just like eggs and cheese. It kind of looked like that. Almost. Okay, yeah, Mama's going to get 2 of her own, which she is going to be able to put butter on. So, you know, Mama, you can have some nice buttered carnivorous things. High tea and afternoon tea are different. I've actually been looking it up. And high tea is more expensive and has meat dishes. Afternoon tea is just, you know, tea in the afternoon. And it was actually started by Duchess Anna, 1800s, 19th century, and her supper was served at like 9, and her lunch was served at 12. And she got hungry in between, so at about 5 o'clock, she would call her servants to give her tea and pastries, and the tradition passed down. And then everybody started doing it because she was doing it and the royal family was doing it, so, you know. And then we're going to refrigerate this and go on to the next thing that we'll be making, which is actually tea for this British-inspired thing. We have London Fogs, frozen yogurt, English breakfast, cream, sugar, these things that I made earlier, also some plain ones for Mama to dip in butter. It's just wonderful. We have some CBTL Earl Grey here for our London Fog, and then also just some Taylors of Harrogate English breakfast. So we are supposed to eat the food first. At a typical
without drinking?
Afternoon. Yes.
Okay then.
So I have some frozen yogurt.
She actually froze yogurt. What did you put in it?
Peanut butter, yogurt, and 1 Reese cup.
Comment down below. What do you think of that recipe? Is it good?
Here we are.
So she made these crepes that have been in the refrigerator now, and they're just egg and vanilla
And baking powder.
baking powder.
And a little bit of sugar.
And she just whipped the egg whites until they were not just soft. They weren't firm. If she had gone longer, they would have been a more airy and firm kind of thing, but she wanted a crepe texture. So I'm dipping mine in butter.
How is it?
Like a pancake. Eggy. If you actually whipped it more, it would be more like angel food cake. Would you like some butter? You have a purine in yours?
To make it fancy.
Okay then.
Come out. Shoot. I'll leave this place. So, basically the reason that you eat this before you drink your tea is out of respect for the host. Also, a lot of people think that Brits do this They don't. They do this.
How wrong we've all been.
Thinking that you don't actually put your pinky out, you just take small sips and don't slurp.
Having dispensed with the food portion of our program, spelled with an M and an E on the end, because it's a British program and they put an M and E on the end. They spell things differently. I suppose they spell things the same and we changed them.
Are we being traitors to our country doing all of this?
What do you mean? We're culturally appropriating.
You know, Boston Tea Party.
I believe we are now having friendly relations with Britain. If we're at war with Britain, please let us know, because I'm not aware of it.
But then again, we're not aware of a lot of things that aren't right about now.
I mean, it could change at any point, but as of this filming, I'd say it was better 10 minutes ago. It got cold. Do you like your English breakfast cold?
Now we add cream, because this is the way that the British take their tea.
Do they drink it cold with cream?
You never know. They don't have air conditioning around in their parts.
Nope.
So.
Nope. I like my tea hot.
Would you like to microwave it?
No, thank you.
Yeah, that's bad.
Sometimes preparing to film takes a minute.
And sometimes that is not a good minute. Okay, this is still warm.
That's good. This is Emma's recipe for London fog with actual Earl Grey. Bergamot.
Ooh, that is way too sweet. I like it better with the English breakfast.
It's like vanilla ice cream.
Earl Grey makes it. I can definitely taste the Earl Grey. I think I'm going to stick to English breakfast for my recipe.
It's like a milkshake.
It is, but not a good milkshake.
Well,
So-
I really enjoyed our English tea.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be sure and do this often.
But maybe without the cold part.
Apologies to actual English people.
Tea cold is not good.
Till we see you again, make time for tea and a good book.